Have you ever had big dreams as a kid? You know, the ones where you can see yourself flying into space, or gaining superpowers and saving the world, or even riding on a T-Rex? As we get bigger, our dreams change constantly and become a little more realistic, especially when we focus on our goals for the future. These aspirations are still part of us having big dreams. Now, we have our own little dreamers running around. Have you ever thought about what our children might see when they dream? What if I told you that the dreams our kids dream can actually be really good for their development, and there's science behind this to back it up? There has been a series of studies conducted since the 1950s, and what they've discovered is that children's dreams about their future can be an inspiration and even a prediction of their achievements later on in life. Children who dream big grow up to do big things. But there's a big difference between our kids dreaming of success and living it. How do they get there? Well, according to the British Psychological Society, the biggest driving factor to help your kids make their dreams a reality is you. That's right, you, the parents, make the difference for your kids. When parents believe in their children, they pass that belief on to them, and the children then take actions that steer them towards achievement. But before we dive in, please be sure to like this video, subscribe to our channel, and hit the notifications. For valuable tips on how to help your child succeed, tune in when a new video drops every week. When we dream about the future, we might see a complete picture, a lot like the cover of this puzzle. But when we look inside, we can see that this picture is made up of lots of tiny pieces. And just like our life goals, it can be very complex to put it all together. If I randomly pick pieces and try to make them fit, I'll eventually give up, but not before lots of failed attempts and frustration. That's something that turns people away from pursuing their dreams, especially when they set out to do it without a plan or a process. If you've done a puzzle before, you already know how this works. Many of you start by finding these corner pieces or these edge pieces. And then you start to fill in the details and the rest of the picture. This is a strategy, and this is your process to completing the puzzle. For your child's aspirations to achieve their future goals, they also need a process. Setting goals will provide the series of steps and strategies needed to pursue their dreams. So what are your child's aspirations, and how do you think goal setting can benefit them? Let me know in the comments below. After about 10 years of working with students from middle school all the way through college, I'd like to share what I've seen when children learn to apply the skill of goal setting. When students learn to set goals, it doesn't just help them get things done. It completely transforms them and helps them to grow into well-adjusted, mature, and responsible young adults. And here are some specific ways how. Setting goals helps students move with direction and purpose. Goals help students to take responsibility and leadership over their academic journey. Imagine the boost of confidence that comes with that. Goal setting helps students to keep themselves accountable and to stay on their toes. They help become a guide in making decisions, and they help the students to prioritize the right decisions that help get them closer to those goals. Setting goals helps students realize that they can't expect results through instant gratification. By learning this lesson, they can stay motivated and disciplined to continue pushing forward because they realize that progress happens over time and usually happens in lots of small steps. Goals help students to not lose focus celebrating their first wins and to gather themselves and prepare for the next ones. Goals also help students persevere after a failure or a loss, taking it as a lesson to be learned and not as a disaster that leads them to crash. But when things get tough, setting goals doesn't just teach students how to take a loss. When students are driven and motivated enough, these goals help encourage them to step out of their comfort zone and to adapt and overcome their problem. And they learn something new in the process. If you made it this far, I know you have what it takes to help support your child take their big dreams and to make them into actionable steps. The first step is to set goals, and the best time to teach them goal setting is now. That's why I invite you to stay tuned for part 2, where we will take a look at how exactly your child can learn to set goals that are effective and to achieve them. If you like this video, please like, subscribe, and share this video with other parents. Comment below if you found these tips useful, if you have any questions, or any other tips you'd like to share. Let's work together to empower your child with the skills of goal setting. Until next time, this is Tawheed from Tutelage Tutoring, reminding you to always dream big.